If I asked you to give me your ID to watch this video, provide some form of identification, what would you tell me? I hope your answer would be a resounding no, telling me to go eat dirt. Because that's not just like some kind of innocent, annoying question. That's legitimately just an assault on your freedom. It's an extremely scary and concerning direction the online space is heading. No longer is this just the wacky, wild west of the World Wide Web, where Timmy Turner once surfed on an email in Fairly Odd Parents. Now, it is actively being censored. We're seeing that happen a lot. Censorship is spiraling, especially in video games, with Collective Shout getting Steam and itch.io, two separate platforms, to remove hundreds and hundreds of games that they deemed highly harmful and, deplorable. So they had the Visa and MasterCard come forward, threaten to pull out of them and bully them into submission. They got them in the fucking headlock. So then they just went belly up and played ball, removing all of these titles, which, by the way, was not just freaky gooner games. In itch.io's case, people have learned over the last few days, tons and tons of games have been de-indexed that didn't have any porn in them at all. So it wasn't just like rape and incest weirdo games. It was any game, or mini games included, that are just darker themes, that have more like adult themes in them with no like sexual content. It's absurd, and it's something everyone could have seen coming. Anyone with a functioning frontal lobe could tell you that censorship is not something to be celebrated. When you try and target low-hanging fruit, something easy like gross, disgusting porn games that are all about like incest and shit, you'll get a lot of clapping seals like, yippee, you saved us. But what they don't realize is that it doesn't stop there. That is just the beginning. That just opens the door. So that way they can censor even more. It is absurd and out of control, but I'm going off on a tangent. The point is, the internet is under attack in a large way across the board, not just in gaming. I'm sure all of you have seen what's happening in the UK right now with their Online Safety Act, where now to access a myriad of content, you need to provide your identification. That's not acceptable. Just like we were all taught growing up, never take candy from a stranger, don't talk to strangers, say no to that kind of shit, you should also be taught to say no to this too. You should not be providing your ID willy-nilly online. That is not something that should just be loosey-goosey, no care in the world. Oh, here's all my personal identification. Here, yeah, take it. That way I can access fucking Wikipedia. By the way, Wikipedia is actually affected by this. Now, in some cases, it's not providing an ID, it's instead providing your face. It will scan your face, so you're giving them your biometric data in that case. Again, big time no-no. I shouldn't be the one to come in here and teach you why privacy is important, but I hope somebody has. This is not a good thing. So in some of these processes, it's not always required to give your full ID and your fucking, credit card statements or anything. Instead, some may ask to scan your face and everything. Also still frowned upon. You still shouldn't do that either. This bill was paraded around like it was some righteous, legislation that was aimed at protecting kids from accessing harmful content online, specifically porn. I'm sure a lot of you, if you've got your thinking caps on, if you're activating neurons, can probably recognize a pattern since basically the beginning of time, the beginning of the internet here, where porn is always used as this ultimate boogeyman. It's the Galactus level threat that they always have to pass legislation to combat. And to people that don't want to do any thinking and would rather have all their thoughts put into their head by the government on what they should and should not support, it sounds like a nice notion. You don't want kids having access to harmful content like porn online. That makes sense. But the second you make like George and get a bit curious and, God forbid, get into your ponder stance and start thinking and look into these type of pushes, you will recognize the goal is not to protect kids. It's not to protect anyone from anything. These are called Trojan horses, where they push these through under a false pretense like this, with so many huge detrimental consequences attached to it that impede on your freedom. They use this idea of protecting kids from harmful content as a way of getting this bill across the line that has really bad stuff in it. There is nothing good about handing over your freedoms. And it's even more sad how few people even recognize it happening in front of their face. And even beyond that, even more pathetic is the people that are happy about it, that don't mind giving away all of their personal information. This act was not about protecting children from accessing porn. It did not just require ID to be provided for porn sites. It was required for anything that they deemed maybe potentially opening up children to harmful content. That includes Discord features. It includes some forums. It includes Twitter. It includes Reddit. Anything that could even be moderately argued opens them up to like adult content or harmful subjects is hit by this, requiring them to have age verification in place where you will need to provide an ID to prove you are 18 years or older in order to grant access to that. You know the whole meme of like, oi, you got a license to be breathing that air? Where it's all about like how over the top the UK is with this kind of bullshit. Well, now it has become beyond parody, where you actually need a fucking license to send Discord shit. You need a license for Wikipedia articles, basically. Wikipedia is being hit by this, by the way. And they're trying to plead their case here about how detrimental this is, trying to bring some kind of sanity and reason back to the UK here in some capacity. I know this word gets tossed around a lot by a bunch of Redditors when tipping their fedora at anything they don't like, but this actually is dystopian. This is preposterous. This was never designed to protect kids from accessing harmful things like porn. It was designed for control and surveillance of their citizens. And it's being proposed in the US as well. If you thought this was an exclusive thought process just for the UK, you're very wrong. America would love to get their fingers in our buttholes as well. And we now have the Kids Online Safety Act that has been reintroduced in late May that aims to do something very similar here. It's a very common tactic where these proposed legislations will have things like, we have to protect the children. You know, another classic meme, think of the children. Well, it's a meme for a reason, because it is the go-to strategy for a lot of politicians, because it's very easy to drum up support under this false pretense. It is not about protecting kids. This isn't actually trying to stop kids from accessing porn. It is a convenient way for them to control your information and spy on you freely, openly, and easily. It is all about surveillance, control, and censorship. And all I can do is sit here and cross my fingers and toes while kissing a rabbit's foot that we are lucky enough that this will be shot down as it has in the past in this country. But it's not guaranteed. Obviously, most people don't want kids accessing porn. And in an age where information can spread so quickly, so wrongly, there's a lot of people that might hear the tiddlywinks about this bill, think it's doing something that it's not, and support it. It's very possible. There has never been an easier time to get some really damaging freedom overturning bills passed than right now, because you control so much information so easily, and most people don't bother to spend even a fucking iota of a second researching any of the topics. It's just a really concerning mix of ingredients here for like the possible perfect storm of no longer having an internet that you can access without providing identification. For some reason, it's become highly accepted and normalized that the internet is expected to cater to children being on it completely unsupervised. And while that does happen, that is the fault of the parent, and the blame lies solely on the parent refusing to do their job in raising their own fucking kids. It is not the internet's responsibility to do that for them. Now, I know it's been very common for parents to just sit their kids in front of an iPad, creating these iPad kids, setting them up for failure, really, by refusing to actively be a part of their life and raise them. But that doesn't mean that the internet needs to step in and change to do it for them. There needs to be the onus placed back on the household, the parents, should be once again in charge of raising their kids. That's how it used to be, and that's how you had normal people develop. Not like this. Not under the thumb of the government sticking its nose in your business. It is terrifying. Why have we just gotten to the point where we excuse bad parenting and instead force the internet to be the ones to be the parental figure, where everything is like babied to ensure a kid doesn't accidentally access fucking Wikipedia or something? It's completely preposterous. And on top of that, it's downright dangerous for everybody. You shouldn't be providing your identification and all of this data like this. It's just not good. And I really hope we don't see it come to America. I wanted to put all of this on your plate here, put it on your radar, because this is not something good. Don't let the propaganda fool you. It is not aiming to actually protect anybody or anything. It is solely for control and surveillance, trying to get more data from you to monitor your activities and ensure you are the drone they want you to be. This is not a good thing. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about that a little bit. That's it. See ya.